Welcome to our informational video on the ongoing genocide in Palestine. In the next few minutes, we'll explore the historical context, current situation, and the human impact of this tragic conflict. The roots of the Palestinian-Israeli conflict trace back to the late 19th century, with the Zionist movement seeking to establish a Jewish homeland in Palestine, then under Ottoman rule. After World War I, the British Mandate intensified the tensions, leading to the United Nations Partition Plan in 1947, dividing Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states. This plan was rejected by the Arab states, leading to the Arab-Israeli War in 1948, known as the Nakba or catastrophe by Palestinians, resulting in the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians from their homes. Fast forward to today, the situation in Palestine remains dire, with escalating violence, unlawful annexations, and systematic oppression perpetrated by the Israeli government. The State of Israel, established in 1948, continues to expand its settlements in the occupied territories of the West Bank and East Jerusalem, in violation of international law. Palestinians face systematic discrimination, land confiscation, and restricted movement, leading to severe economic and humanitarian crisis. The relentless expansion of illegal settlements in the West Bank and East Jerusalem has further marginalized Palestinian communities and undermined prospects for a viable Palestinian state.
The ongoing blockade at the Gaza Strip has caused a humanitarian catastrophe with limited access to food, water, and basic medical supplies.
And the construction of illegal Israeli settlements in the West Bank has not only violated international law but also exacerbates tensions and undermines the prospects of peace for the country.
The Palestinian people continue to resist through protests, but they are met with excessive force from Israeli security forces, resulting in loss of lives and injuries. Children are often the victims of this violence, with thousands arrested and detained every year. Peaceful demonstrations are met with tear gas, rubber bullets, and live ammunition, resulting in loss of life and severe injuries.
How does it feel to have your voice silenced and your land threatened?
It's a relentless battle for survival, and we refuse to give up our rights and dignity at this moment.
As tensions escalate, can you provide insights into the current situation from your perspective?
We're facing security threats, and we have to take measures to protect our citizens.
Among the ongoing conflict, can you share the challenges you face on a daily basis?
So every day we face the eviction from our houses. We're losing our livelihood, and our neighborhoods are being bombed, so we are not able to live an easy life. Our lands are being stolen and we can't even have a proper life. So when everything is being suppressed, we don't have the basic human rights. How do you expect us to, not be against what's been happening to us?
How do you respond to accusations of unfair force and human rights violations?
We prioritize the safety and strive to minimize civilian casualties, but it is a complex situation.
Perspectives from both sides highlight the deeply entrenched complexity of the conflict. Despite the stark differences, the path towards resolution seems to necessitate dialogue, understanding, and a shared commitment to peace, acknowledging the challenges and improvements of both sides.
The international community has condemned the Israeli occupation and called for a two-state solution based on the 1967 borders. Despite widespread condemnation from human rights organizations and calls for accountability, the international community's response has often fallen short. However, meaningful action to hold Israel accountable for its human rights violations has been limited. The United Nations has repeatedly called for an end to the occupation and the implementation of a two-state solution, but concrete action has been lacking. Efforts to broker a lasting peace agreement have been repeatedly undermined by political stalemates, unilateral actions, and a lack of genuine commitment from all parties involved. The absence of meaningful dialogue and the failure to address the root cause of the conflict have only prolonged the suffering of the Palestinian people.
All in favor of calling a ceasefire in relation to the war in Palestine?
Despite numerous resolutions passed by the United Nations condemning Israel's actions and calling for a peaceful resolution to the conflict, progress has been hindered by the United States' consistent use of its veto power in the UN Security Council to shield Israel from accountability. This has perpetuated a cycle of impunity, allowing Israel to continue in its illegal practices. In conclusion, the genocide in Palestine is a complex issue rooted in historical injustices and ongoing violations of human rights. It's crucial for the international community to stand in solidarity with the Palestinian people and work towards a just and lasting solution to this conflict.